Hello, welcome everyone. All right, well, a little bit about myself. I am a second-generation Mexican-American from Laredo, Texas. At the age of 2 years old, I died from a rare parasitic disease. So you see, I was meant to be here to tell y'all my journey. At the age of 3 years old, my mom brought us down to Madison, Wisconsin for a better life. With the help of UMOS, we were able to get housing and able to get work as well. My father didn't come down till later on because he was always in and out of jail. My father was a strict man, very stern, very machista, also very abusive. He was very abusive to my mom and to my sister. And also he had a lot of friends. Some of those friends I recall overdosing in our bathtubs. Others would have molested me when I was younger. I told no one. I kept it a secret. So I was traumatized when I was young, and I also had a lot of built-up anger in me. I still struggle with it till this day. When I was 15 years old, my high school sweetheart and his parents came to ask for my hand in marriage. Now, typically in my culture, that's only done if you're either pregnant or no longer a virgin. I was neither, so we were all confused. Of course, my parents said no to the proposal, and so did I. Me and him continued to date, but his family continued to pressure me and kept telling me, we're gonna move, we're gonna take him away, we're gonna, move to Texas. So at the age of 16, I became pregnant. We got married. I moved in with him, but that didn't last. He was cheating. So I left him. I moved back home with my parents. I continued my education, and I went to SAPAR, a school-age parenting program, or a school for teen moms. And I had my daughter, Thalia. I was able to file for divorce, and at that school is where I found out that my soon-to-be second husband was living a double life. His other daughter is about 8 months younger than mine. Her mother started to attend that same school as me. You can imagine the drama and how I felt. But I continued to push on. I continued my education, and I worked at night. I got no sleep. Ask my sister. She kept the baby up in the mornings. So I was able to graduate with my high school class of 2000, and I got my high school diploma. And then, over the years, my father became ill. I became his caretaker, got into the medical field. But my father pleaded with me, Mija, please find your daughter a father, and please find yourself a husband. I don't want to die knowing that you will be alone. That's where my second husband came into play. I had my second daughter, Francisca. I continued my education, became a certified nursing assistant. I also got a good job. Now my husband, he was an alcoholic and became very abusive. Again, I told no one. I kept it a secret. That man not only almost killed me once, but twice. So I took my kids and I fled. I filed for divorce and I freed myself. Husband number 3. I know, calmate J-Lo, right? Husband number 3 was a godsend. I had my son Leo. I love you, mijo. I had my son Leo. I continued my education, became a certified medical assistant. I got an amazing job with the company I always wanted to work for. Things were looking out. I also got help, do the down payment on our house. Things was looking good. Me and my husband were together many, many, many years. So we started to argue, we started to fight, and then we started to fight in front of the kids. But this time I told him, and we talked, and we said, you know what, let's separate. Maybe this will help our marriage. So I left. I became a single mom again. But this time was different. I got a second job. I learned how to finance. I learned how to budget. I built up my credit score. I felt empowered, okay? There was nothing I couldn't do after this, okay? So, me and my husband were able to fix our marriage. This actually helped our marriage. And then it made me realize, why did I have to get a second job if I already worked with a good company? I could have just asked for a raise. Then the pandemic hit. All hell broke loose. People were overworked and understaffed. It made me question if I wanted to continue to work in the medical field. So I continued my education. I went to school part-time to become an esthetician. And then the new staff started coming in, and people started talking about their wages. The new girl was making $2 more than me, and the new guy was making $3 more than her, so that's $5 more than me. I had 12 years of experience over them. They had little to no experience. So you can't tell me I wasn't being discriminated against, not only for being Latina, but for being a woman. So I brought my concerns up to management, and I CC'd everybody I could. The manager's manager, HR, maybe even the janitor. Anyone that would listen to me. But my manager gave me a $1 raise, and I feel it was just to shut me up. That was my cue to go. So I transferred to a specialty department. I got $2 more. So I was like, hey, I'm getting up there, right? Yeah, okay. It was the same thing. We were understaffed, overworked. So I stayed as long as I could. I was able to graduate esthetician school. I passed my state boards and became a licensed esthetician. I created BayLin Skin and Beauty, put in my 2 weeks notice, and I left that company on my 13-and-a-half anniversary, and I never looked back. I became a solo esthetician for 6 months, but I still felt like I was missing something. Not the chaos, but I was missing something. So I applied to another company as a medical assistant, but this time was different. I knew my worth, y'all. And I told them that. I said, you know what? I want the maximum pay, I want the maximum bonus, and I need a day off. The worst they could say was no, right? And I applied at another company. And you know what? I am getting my worth. I am getting my pay. And I have the best of both worlds because I'm also a boss. I'm my own boss. So you see, I hope my story inspires you to strive to survive, to know your worth, continue to advocate for yourself, and know that it is okay to start over in life as many times as you want until you are happy. Amen. Thank you.